Well, good morning, gardening friends and haunting friends. Before I start this video, I just wanted to take a little moment to remember what today is and what had happened 20 years ago. Just try to remember, never forget. Just want to have a little moment of silence for this day 20 years ago. Alright guys, so I know it's been a while, so let me show you what I've been working on. All last weekend, Labor Day weekend, started on the haunted yard, of course, and I will show you my progress so far. So this is going to be a mix of a little bit of the garden and the progress on the front yard so far. So today, this morning, taking a little break, but we got our hearse up. This was custom made for me from a friend, and it still has to get the little, I gotta get the seat out here that goes on it, and I will probably put like a skeleton guy or something up there. And we got this fabric at, of course, the fabric store, and anyway, I was trying to find something more vintage, but I think as it fades, the color fades away, it starts to look a little better. I would like to eventually put glass, not glass, but plexiglass in the sides here on the windows, and I would like to do some kind of projector or have something in there. So anyway, and then I have, it was a frame to an old mirror that will go on this round part back here. I'll just show you the inside real quick, kind of give you an idea on how it was built. Looks like we got some people stopping by. Anyway, so you can see these metal bracket things is what the thank you. It's what the sides of the wall sit on, so they kind of go right down in those metal pieces, and then when the season's over, it's easy to you know, pull these out of the brackets and store it better, because each of these walls are their own piece. Oh, we also have wheels. We've got 4 wagon wheels that we will put on this for the wheels. I would love to eventually one day have the zombie horse or whatever that's been out for a few years now. But anyway, that is the hearse. And of course, some things got blown around this morning. I guess I could have set this stuff up before the video, so anyway, real life here. So let's start with the tombstones. The tombstones I've had for every year. I kind of make a few more, but these are out of the styrofoam coolers. My husband works at the hospital, so he's able to get a lot of these, take a lot of these home. This huge tombstone here, which, like I said, everything's blowing around. I haven't really got everything tacked down tight yet, but I will. But this is like a styrofoam head here for her face. Her dress is coming down there, but she's supposed to look like she's part of the tombstone. So anyway, but like I was saying, this is, the base is an old refrigerator that we had in the garage that doesn't work. One year we used it for I think we had like brains and different things in it, made it real nasty inside with mice and stuff, but I decided to turn it into a big tombstone. Here's the bottom of it, and I got to pull her down a little bit because this should be on the ground. So that'll cover that bottom of the refrigerator up. But the nice thing about this is you can set it up and roll it right down the driveway on out here or on into the garage when it's over. So that was a real easy big prop to do. More of the cooler, styrofoam cooler. Tombstones. You can kind of tell if you get up close that they're coolers. But I used liquid nail to piece these together. Let me set this up for you guys real quick. Alright, so I just set it up against the hearse because it's going to blow down. 'Tis the season for wind, and that is our biggest enemy for our decorations, but the struggle is real. But anyway, these are coolers, and then this was just a store-bought tombstone by itself, and just attached it to the top there to make a bigger tombstone. Again, and I think we get some of these from the Peddler's Mall. Some of these, we found this one at the Peddler's Mall, the cooler. Again, another store-bought tombstone there, and we just glued it to there. This is liquid nail holding it on there, and a little bit of the green, lime green spray paint there for moss, to give it a mossy look. Again, another tombstone. It's just a piece of foam. You can kind of see the purple foam boards, and this is great stuff to give it some texture. And then I just kind of weathered it a little bit, made it darker up here and like where the water or rain would rush off of it, to age it a little bit. This is a store-bought one. This little ghost girl here is just a doll from the Peddler's Mall or junk store. We just painted her up to make her look like a ghost. Again, another cooler tombstone. Could probably use some of the paint is chipping away, so I'll get my can of spray paint out here and fix that. But this here is just one of those plastic gold things that were, I guess, at one point in style back in the day. Found it at the Goodwill, so I thought it would be nice to make a tombstone out of it. Alright, so this, one of my walls fell off here thanks to the wind, but this is going to be our witch's shack. As you can see, the wind has got to this, so I've got to figure out another way to attach that on better. But this will be a witch's shack scene. I've got some cages in here. 3 different cages. I thought about getting, like, making this like it had a child in it. But anyway, soon there will be a floor. This is just the beginning stages of all this, guys. And this is why we start Labor Day weekend, because it takes a while, and of course I work full time, so it's not like I have all the time in the world to get this stuff done. But here is one of our witches. Not really a witch, but I made her into a witch. This was a store-bought. I think I got this at Horner Novelty. But yeah, I just added some hair to her and her dress. And I think I'm going to get a different witch hat for her. Alright, now this little section here is going to be Sleepy Hollow Bridge. So, of course, it's just in the beginning stages. I like to show you guys the progress. So anyway, that's what that's going to be. And of course I have a headless horseman prop that will go here, and then a bunch of pumpkins. So speaking of the big pumpkin king that I was working on and talking about a few videos ago, so I put several layers of sealer on it to protect it from the weather, and we left it out for a day and it rained, and let's just say it did not make it. I mean, it made it, but it did not hold up. So that prop will just be an inside prop, unfortunately, and but I do have a plan B. So anyway, I'll show you at the end of the video the prop I made, and then the prop that I'm going to turn into, you know, my plan B. Alright, so this here is a mannequin. We got some mannequins from it was a store, Cato's Closet, I think. Anyway, it was a clothing store that went out of business in Shepherdsville, and they were these mannequin with the stands. They were $5 a piece, so we loaded up two carfuls of them. So anyway, this is obviously a graveyard statue, and this was a monster mud project. If you don't know what monster mud is, look it up. It's fun. But basically, I think it's like exterior paint and joint compound mixed together, and then you soak your sheets or fabric in it, and then you basically just drape it and go. I mean, get it, you know, put it, you know, shape it, I guess, the way you want it, and then let it dry, and then it hardens up. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but yeah. That is Monster Mud project, and this is her 3rd year, and all that is it's a fitted sheet and the big sheet. Got one little goblin there, and our Old Salem Dead and Breakfast sign. So let me show you a little bit of the flowers still blooming. There's the blue Victoria salvia. Our purple asters are just about in full bloom. Marigolds. The sedum is coming into color. We've been slowing down traffic, and people have been honking and taking pictures. Even getting some extra blooms on the top of the limelight hydrangeas, where I cut them back weirdly this year. So the tops are reblooming. Alright, now let's go look at the outside of it. So the fencing here is just these boards with you know, the hose drilled into them, and this is PVC pipe. These are old. I've had these for probably 8 years now, and they've seen better days. But this is just the same thing, the bigger PVC pipe cut into rings. And I didn't make too many of those, so that's why they are on this side, and I'm using them kind of as the entrance gate for the hearse. This ghostly gal does not want to stay put, no matter how I rig her up. But anyway, I made her from just a cheap plastic mask at Spirit Halloween, and of course that's just hair from the Peddler's Mall, actually, like the weave hair. and a Goodwill dress, spray painted to look ghostly. Old fencing here. Again, this is about 6, maybe 7 years old. And this is a little bit smaller PVC pipe. I think it's the 1/2 inch. And then the newer fencing here, you can tell where I got kind of lazy and in a time crunch last year, but I just used those metal bracket thingies, whatever you call them. I just kind of screwed it into the boards because I was in a hurry, and when you're hosting a party and you kind of run out of time and money. So this prop here is the zombie granny prop. This was the very first prop I've ever made, and she has been holding up nicely. She is 6 years old. And she's just a styrofoam head, some liquid nail for the kind of shape the liquid nail and put it in different layers to make her bones. And then of course you can see she's rotting away. She's got one tooth left. These are just craft eyes, realistic craft eyes that you can get on Amazon, or I actually recommend that you get them on Dead Props, deadprops.com. And I also use some like grocery bag plastic, and you can kind of do a little corpsing with that on top of the liquid nail. And this is just a cheap nightgown from Goodwill. So the columns are made from plywood. I had these cut at Lowe's or whatever. Just one, each column is one sheet, and I just had them cut it into 4 equal parts. And then I took them home and, you know, made columns out of them. There is a little bit of liquid nail and joint compound I used to give it a little bit of texture on the outside. And then just for extra extra detail, these are the lids to the styrofoam coolers from Dollar Tree. Oh, and I also have from Goodwill planters, little plastic planters that go up there. But I'm thinking about doing lights if I can get around to it this year. Doing a couple of red lights or something on the outside. So that is that. And then of course I bring in, you know, stuff from the back that we've piled up from the trees throughout the year. I'll bring in dead trees and vines just to kind of camouflage the, like this corner here where it doesn't really come together. I'll put something there like vines, and then I'll hang different things from the fence. This is the front of the witch's thing. Again, it's not done yet. But this is the Trav'S Haunted Yard 2021 update number 1. I usually hang that guy on the house, but I thought he looked a lot better out here in the trees. Alright, you guys, that is the progress so far. This is what, 3 days will get you. Bobo hydrangea still have that nice fall pink color to it. And we still have some dahlias blooming. Everything's falling over around here. This is another ghoul that I will put out in the yard soon. There we go. Probably making y'all sick at this shaky video. So there's that guy, and then here's my headless horseman with his severed head victim. And there's the cape that goes to him, but it likes to blow off. Alright, so that is the progress so far, guys. Now let me show you what I'm going to do. First let me show you how the pumpkin turned out. The original pumpkin head for the Pumpkin King. So that's him. But as you can see, he's a little misshapen from the rain. So I guess those coats of sealer was not enough to protect this guy. So I probably should have did a few coats of the driveway sealer. I think I said that before, that it works the best. But of course, this prop is going to be out for 2 months. So that's another thing you got to think about. That's 2 months of weather, and you know how much it rains around here in September and October. So plan B. So we're going to go inside and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for plan B. Alright guys, so this is plan B. These huge jack-o'-lanterns are at Home Depot right now. And it's not exactly the shape I was wanting to have this big Pumpkin King. I was really wanting it to be kind of shaped like the one I made. But anyway, I'm going to make this work. So I will be putting some, I don't know, maybe liquid nail and different things on this to kind of make this look a little bit more, I don't know, creepy. So I'm going to rough this guy up a little bit, but the bottom of it is perfect because it can go on the pole or whatever I use for the Pumpkin King, and the pole can go right to the stem there, if you will. So that is that. So that's plan B on that prop. Of course, I got all my vines and stuff I'm still going to use. And then I had to have this pumpkin. This pumpkin here was just cool. I really like that one. And this is at Home Depot as well. It is part of their Rotten Patch pumpkins. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap up this video there. If you're not following me already on YouTube, please subscribe. Like this channel, share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it, and would love to have you part of my little gardening Halloween family. Pretty awesome community, if I do say so myself. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.